Look at this. Persimmons. Beautiful, big, orange, lush looking persimmons. 3 pieces of fruit. But this tree, this persimmon tree is growing right at the foot of an oak tree. In the back paddock of our property. I love oak trees. Hey girls, have you been running? Get down, miss. That's rude. How rude. Look, just really, there's only 3 pieces, I think. Let me see. Are you ready, Persimmon? Are you ready? Amazing. It's surprising that it is even getting enough light under this oak tree. Look, it's growing right into the base of the tree, along with some other weeds. I thought that was a very cool discovery this morning. No, you're stomping on them. Get down, Molly. Get down, get down, get down. Aren't these the prettiest things? Little delicate Texas wildflowers. Now my friend Theresa would know exactly what they're called. But to me, at this point, they are Texas wildflowers. Here's some more. The puppies haven't trampled yet. We'll take them home, put them in a vase. Here, come on. You keep going on the wrong side of the fence. Come on. And you come. Shadow, come. Molly, get down. Oh my goodness. Naughty puppy. Come here, Shadow. Come on. Come on. You've learnt your manners. You don't jump as much. Look at that. That web that's been formed there in amongst the leaf litter on the ground. So clever, and it's kind of got a funnel in it. I bet you there's a spider. Yeah, I think there is. I can see it wading down the bottom for whoever's silly enough to walk in there. So pretty though. Oh, hello. I see you. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that. You look a wee bit ominous. I think I shall leave you alone. Molly, Shadow, come. Stay over here. I love these early morning walks through the property. It's beautiful, hey? Part of our story is, I guess, country girl, marries city boy. A lot of my experience when I was growing up is helpful in this setting. But a lot of it is memory, and a lot of it is not as practical, especially for what we want to do. Girls, come here. Molly, Shadow, come. Come on. Come back in our paddock. Thank you. And my husband is coming with a lot of enthusiasm and passion, and he's read a lot, but he grew up in the city. And so we are starting with that dynamic, and also starting from ground zero, which I have mentioned before, but we do have this land, which is just beautiful right now to use. We don't own it, but it's ours to use right now. So that's at like 20 steps ahead of where we were this time last year. But in this season, which is exciting for us, is the time of stepping out still very much in faith, because we don't have a bunch of capital to go, okay, let's go buy bags and bags of compost and start a garden, or let's go buy all the animals and all the infrastructure. We have to take baby steps, and we have to go slowly. But I want to encourage those who perhaps are in a similar place where you are starting, but you can't just launch in with a bunch of money, because you still can do this. We can do this in small incremental steps. I think what it requires is more patience, a lot more patience, and allowing things to happen naturally. For example, the garden bed. We would love to have put in a full garden. We would have loved to go and buy big quantities, my hand's getting sore, of inputs to put down and start a garden. We had the same thing happen in Australia actually when we moved to central Queensland and wanted to start a garden starting from scratch, and we couldn't put in all of the amendments and build the bed up. We couldn't afford to build beds with buying timber or for framing, or buying big loads of compost or topsoil, and we started with a very barren, dead lawn in that place. So what we did is, it took time, but we built a hugelkultur garden bed, and we just lopped down all the branches of anything that could be trimmed on the property, gathered up any organic matter that was laying around and laid it as a foundation. I couldn't afford to buy a wheelbarrow at the time, so I hauled buckets of dirt that I found heaped in the back corner of the property. It was a bit rocky. I had to pick rocks out of it, and it wasn't great soil, but it's what we had. So I put it on top of all this organic matter. We found a nearby property that had horses that we were friends with the people, so we took a trailer and went and got trailer loads and hand shoveled it onto the trailer of manure and straw and a bit of cattle manure, mostly horse, from their yards, and layered it on top of the dirt. And then we did purchase a round bale of hay and added that. I put all my veggie scraps from the kitchen onto it, and we bought one bag of I can't remember what it was called. It was like a compost, but it was just one bag. It was not big enough for the whole bed, so I kind of just thinly layered that over the top and mulched it with lawn clippings from mowing the lawn, and then left it for weeks. We had to wait. The thing is, with doing things from scratch, it's not instant. Girls, you are interrupting. Yes, you are. Oh, careful. So that's what we have to do here. We have to start from scratch and build it up, copying nature, copying what happens in the forest, but I guess mimicking it to a degree, but in a concentrated way, and then having the patience to wait over the winter and start our veggie patch in the spring. We're going to put the chooks on there as well. That will help. They will add some nitrogen and some more. They will help stir it up, and that will add to it. But you can do this with very little input if you're patient. But patience is the key. So I guess my point is, it's a faith walk. As we do the little things, the next things we can do, and wait and trust with the big things. And the thing is, God's timing is perfect. And we felt like we were all set up for success, I guess, in Australia. We had good gardens going. We had chooks. We had a lot of infrastructure we had built up, tools, and I guess tools more than infrastructure. We were preparing to be able to move onto bigger land, and we had a lot of what we needed that we had been working at building up. And then God said, go to America. And we had to leave all of that behind and start again, which there was an internal battle there for a little while but we've got all this stuff ready, and we know you want us to farm, Lord, so don't we need all this stuff? And we've built all these garden beds and we're so close to the next step. But you know what? When God tells you to do something, that stuff doesn't bother him or hold him back. When you are walking this life by faith, which might be a foreign concept, I don't know, to some, but it is, I guess, faith takes risk and trust and knowing that it's going to be okay, because the Lord isn't reliant on our stuff and his timing is perfect. So we chose to jump in and say, okay, Lord, we'll follow and we'll trust that you'll catch us on the other side and provide what we need. And we have this beautiful land with lots of potential, not ours, but ours to use. And so we're starting with what we have and trusting him with the rest. And that's okay. We're not worried. We have walked along this road long enough to know that that is a safe place to be.